entertainment industry has completely changed in the last 20 years to the point that the internet is threatening the livelihood of musicians, of filmmakers, of television. The internet is where the entertainment is, and the internet, you can't hide anything from the internet.
Well,
and there's kids now that have grown in that culture that can hack even the most sophisticated systems known to mankind. And the most sophisticated system known to mankind, they say, if you want to be safe, don't store it in your phone, don't store it in the drawer, store it in the sky. But apparently somebody broke the sky, and some people's private, most intimate things, everybody does what they do between themselves and in their very small circle, and now it's bare naked, literally bare naked out on the internet. I saw some of the photos, and I would, I'd die. I would die. It's unbelievable. The photos are on the internet, just like that. Just 1 second, you punch in somebody's name and push photos, and there they are.
Who are they? The husband and wife, or
there's nude photos of several movie stars.
Yeah.
Rihanna. There's
Kate Upton, Justin Verlander of the Tigers.
The big one is Jennifer Lawrence.
And Jennifer Lawrence, correct.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the hottest thing since the Kardashian photos.
Now, I think in Jennifer Lawrence's case, these photos were taken quite a while ago before she became a very, very famous actress.
But still.
But you know, you're right. And Kate Upton, maybe a couple of months ago, from what I've read, from what I've heard, both of their representatives are saying they're going to fight this legal action, do what they can to make sure those that hacked this private...
They should go to prison. They should go to fucking prison, and they should sue the cloud. Now, because apparently the cloud is transparent.
Yeah, and from what I understand, guys, before Bill gets in there, I think people at Apple are looking into this security breach quite seriously. Go ahead, Bill.
No, my naivety is showing here, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. I was hoping Frank would fire it at me there earlier. All of these pictures are of individual movie stars. They are not of intimacy between two movie stars.
Some of them are. Some are intimate nude pictures between lovers.
Yeah.
Whether they've kept them for keepsakes, I don't really know. But they are very lewd.
Yeah.
They are. If you want to be titillated, and if you're a perv, then you found the right place, because the internet is custom made for perverts. The internet is the only place in the world where men are women, women are men, and kids are cops. So
now let me play devil's advocate here with you guys. I mean, if you are an actor or an actress, whether you're starting out in the business or a big-time name, sooner or later this is going to get out.
Bullshit.
No,
that's the first time I'm going to argue big time with you, Tony. These are private things in their private possession.
But do you not suspect that if you become...
let me give you my analogy of what I think transpired. Somebody breaks into your house, Tony, opens your private drawer, and pulls out some of your most intimate things that are yours. Haven't broken any law. They're yours. And they make them public. That's robbery. That's robbery. That should be the cops, the police, the federal regulators, the people who make the laws should make that just as stealing somebody's personal jewelry. It's totally disgusting. It's totally unforgivable. And that's what happened. These people had these locked up in a file that they pay for. I have iCloud. I pay for it, which is supposed to be where my stuff. Well, I don't have any naked pictures of myself, but if I did, I wouldn't be putting them in iCloud or leaving them on a phone.
Where would you put them?
I would just not take any pictures of me naked. I see myself naked every morning when I'm showering. That's good enough for me.
And that's why, guys, I'm saying, if you're an actress or an actor and you want to make it big, in the back of your head you're thinking, I'm going to take these photos, these risque photos,
Yeah,
and maybe one day when I need it,
that's what cranks them, Paul. None of your commentary makes sense. It's like, okay, let me give you another analogy to try to put you on my mindset here.
Okay.
Your dirty underwear are in a dirty hamper. You wash them, but they're your dirty underwear. Somebody comes and steals them.
Right.
That's what this is. This is their personal shit, and they're keeping it in a safe fucking place. Like people when they broke into Pamela Anderson and they stole the tapes, and they sold it. Like, I mean, that's robbery. That's robbery, and the people who bought them should have been sued.
But didn't the publicity from the stealing of those tapes from Pamela Anderson's example not only help her out,
that's one
heightened her celebrityism?
She's a major star. She's a quantified actress. She's done. She was absolutely brilliant in Silver Book.
Silver Linings.
Playbook Silver Linings, I think, right? Silver Linings Playbook? Yeah. It was about...
she was absolutely brilliant in the movie.
Right, and she wasn't a big name until that movie.
She's got a great franchise in The Hunger Games. She was absolutely phenomenal in Hustle. I mean...
yeah, she was, yeah.
She's a quantified, she's the real deal. She does not need titillation and sensationalism to make herself any bigger than she is one of the biggest stars in Hollywood.
But these photos were taken long before she was a big name.
It doesn't matter. They're photos of her in very compromising positions.
But what I'm saying is, who's to say she didn't take these photos in the back of her mind thinking one day
Tony,
she needs the big boost in her career?
You always try to think for somebody else. I'm telling you, the obvious right now is she's very upset, and I would be enraged, and this person should be arrested. There has to be a fucking line. I understand what you say. When you're in the public eye, you're going to take you're going to take the paparazzi. You're going to take the loss of privacy. But that's one thing. So is it okay while you're walking down the street for a fucking photographer to rip your clothes off and take pictures of you? Because that's exactly the accurate analogy of what has happened by them taking whatever personal stuff that they stored in a personal file with supposedly security and being hacked by some fucking loser who has nothing better to do with his fucking life.
But, Frank, I think what Tony's saying, and I don't necessarily agree with him, but I think his point is this. If you're concerned about exposing yourself in naked pictures, why do you take them?
Okay, let me try it another way. Because, Billy, I think you're on my page. Hear me. I walk around, when I take a shower, I don't walk around in the bathroom before I go in the shower with my clothes on because I don't want to get my clothes wet. So I'm going to take my clothes off and be naked. So if some fucking asshole is outside my window with a camera and takes pictures, is that right or is that wrong?
Okay, can I chime in here?
Go ahead, Perry.
But let me ask you the question.
No, it's wrong.
Is that right or is that wrong?
It's wrong.
Okay, so my analogy is she has these nude photos hidden away in her own locker, in her own possession.
Yeah.
It is wrong. I don't give a fuck what they're of. They're hers. They're of herself. It is completely wrong that some asshole broke in, whether it's in her house or cyber style, right? It's still a break-in, took her personal possessions and put it all over the internet, which today you really need to fucking, because of this freedom of speech and all this fucking crapola, right? You really need to have to fucking fight. So when the fuck does the line get drawn of freedom of speech?
Okay, just two
things. You drew the line, okay? And it's not a fair analogy to have Jennifer Lawrence juxtaposed to you or to Perry or to Tony or to me, but she at one point chose to have those pictures taken. And they were done
personal. Yeah, I agree with you. They're not public. They're personal pictures. I agree with you, Billy, but they're personal pictures.
I agree.
But they belong to her.
Yeah.
They're her fucking pictures, and she has a right, whether she wants them publicized or not, they're her pictures. And I think Tony gave a fair analogy that some actors leak shit out to become more famous or to get publicity. This girl does not need it. This girl's very, very talented. she's a superstar. She's a, you know, she doesn't need this shit. And from what I'm reading, they're mortified. Everybody's mortified in that app.
Okay, Perry, go ahead.
Yeah, Sean's just checking for me. But I remember years ago, the ex-wife, she was married to Mike Tyson at the time, had pictures
Robin
done.
Gibbons?
Not Robin Gibbons, it was another one, right?
Okay, sorry.
Had pictures taken of her, and those pictures were exposed years later on. She did it for private purposes, but somehow or another, those pictures, I guess by the photographer, got leaked, and they were showing like Playboy or Penthouse.
Yeah, but they weren't stolen from her. They were already in the possession of the person who took them. I remember that.
Yeah, but they weren't supposed to be put in Penthouse. He essentially took private pictures that he was hired to do. He wasn't hired to put them at the Penthouse.
Yeah, but I agree with you, but it's not a fair comparison. This person, the guy, the photographer, had them in his possession. He lied. He didn't give all the prints in, and then he kept them. And I remember the story. I believe this is different.
The only thing I'm going to
I think he's wrong. The photographer who kept the other copies and then put them out there, I think he is wrong. But I think this is even more wrong. I think that this is robbery. This is unbelievable robbery. It's exactly like somebody breaking into your fucking house. And I think that legislation needs to take a close look at this shit because it is completely what's safe. You put alarm systems in your house so nobody robs you. What's safe?
Don't take any lewd pictures of yourself. That's what's safe, right?
But it doesn't matter whether you take nude pictures. These fucking guys, let's say they don't. These fucking guys, they jump over fences, they hide in windows, they peer. There should be some sort of line here.
But Frank, the only thing I'm going to say is with the internet is so faulty in a system that you've got very sophisticated people who could crack into government files, like far bigger than this.
Well, look what they did with the bank. Look what they did.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Where the fuck are you safe now? Look what they're doing. What they did. They got bank account numbers. They got credit card numbers. But you know, I'm just telling you right now, those things you can control because the banking's so fast. In the olden days, I remember when I started my business, you'd write a check. It took 7 days to clear. You had 7 days of grace, right? Get your shit together. Write somebody a check. As soon as they put it in the bank, it comes out of your account, or they tell you, right, you know, there's no money in that account.
Yeah.
And if there's fraud, and we've had in our company, we've had at least 11 types of fraud in our bank account, but we catch it instantaneously because we reconcile our bank account every single morning, and we reconcile our bank account in the nighttime. So, like, you know, it's a big scam. They steal checks, they adulterate them, make them for different amounts, and try to cash them. That's part of life now. But at least you can catch it. At least you can correct it. This you can't. You can't correct it. They're fighting for their lives right now. They're trying to get those pictures gone, which is bullshit now, because who knows how many people, millions of people have downloaded them. They're in their possession now. Now they're trying to take them off the internet, but they're on the internet.
And this is, I think, an issue that's only going to get worse and worse as the hackers get more sophisticated.
This is the tip of the iceberg.
I agree with you.
A far bigger problem.
And that's why I say, if you're an actor or an actress, this might be a good thing because it'll get your name out there more publicity.
No,
but
that's
hang on. Hey, you don't think Paris Hilton loved having those tapes out there?
There's two. That's right. That was going to be my
comparing
apples to oranges.
A French fry.
I understand.
With caviar. I mean,
I'm just saying. What's the old?
Paris Hilton's done her best.
Right.
Done her best.
What was the old line from Pierre Elliott Trudeau many years ago? All publicity is good publicity. Is that not something?
No, any publicity is good publicity if it's negative publicity.
I think that this is disgusting. If she wanted to be anyways.
But this is the tip of the iceberg, though.
Somebody said if you don't want people to have nude photos of you,
I agree.
take nude photos.
Agreed.
I mean, that's the end of the line. But my suggestion is, if that's what cranks you, everybody has a different thing that makes them tick, and it's not illegal if somebody wants to take pictures of lovers and poses, and that's the way they what they like. I suggest you don't put them on the internet in any type of safe.
Agreed.
Because there's nothing safe anymore.
Agreed. This is, as Perry just said, the tip of the iceberg. We're going to see more and more of this, whether it's photos, whether it's banking information, whatever. And it scares the hell out of me.
Well,
but it's not safe. It's